There is this woman that comes online, and I don't mean to single her out, but she is one of many like her. And with an angry, sort of a perverse, satisfied face, she says, Elon Musk's Tesla car sales are down 16% in Germany. We can do this. You know, it's really sad to watch her. It really is. Not that it matters, but even if Tesla sales go down to zero for the next 20 years in all of Europe, not alone Germany, but in all of Europe, Elon Musk will still be living in a lap of luxury for the rest of his life. And if he could live another 500 years, he's at top of the world. And a sales downturn in one country in Europe is not going to change. Not for him, not for anyone else like him, who is a go-getter and a success chaser. But this video is really not about Elon Musk. This video is about this woman and people like her, of which there are sadly many. You know, they fail to realize that their whole existence and demeanor and actions and everything they do from the time they wake up until they sleep can be described in one single word. And that word is frustration. She is frustrated because she doesn't have what she wants. She doesn't have the life she wants. As simple as that. And she is unable, or she sees herself as unable to do anything about it, which is wrong, but that's how she sees, herself. Whether or not you believe or that you can do something or not, you are correct. Her life will not change based on Donald Trump or Elon Musk or Kamala Harris or whoever else is in the White House. Her frustrations will remain the same. But because she's unable, and I say she, I mean people like her, millions like her, because they are unable and unwilling and feel powerless and helpless to change the miserable life that they have, and it is miserable because they don't have any of the things that they want. So they lash out at something. They're looking for something that they can blame, that they can vent to, that they see as the only thing that they can blame besides themselves, which is the only and only thing, the person, thing, entity that they should blame. They look for something and say, aha, yes, okay. See, others are saying it's the president, it's whoever is in the White House and whoever is in power that is the cause of my life's frustrations and inability to have what I want in life. I see through her like a cat sees through you. You know, when you're, it's so easy to read her face. It's so easy to decipher her. You don't need a psychiatrist. I remember one time I was talking to a psychiatrist who had just retired. And he told me, I said, are you happy to be retiring? He said, yes, I really am. He said, I told him, I hear people like you listen to people's problems all day long, and sometimes it rubs off on them. Some of them even go as far as suicide. He said, yes. He said, I had one client who was sad that I was retiring. I've been seeing her for 30 years. I said, 30 years? Did I hear correctly? He said, yes, 30 years. I said, what? You would just sit down in your office and talk to you? She goes, yes, that's it. They just want someone to talk to. They just want to get it out. You don't need a therapist. You just need a good friend, and you save a lot of money too in the process. But they somehow get the insurance companies or the government or their loved ones, whoever, to pay for it. But back to the main subject. This woman and people like her, who have miserable, lonely, sad lives. Lives of unrealized dreams. They have a cat, they have a dog, they have their self-medication, alcohol in some form or another, antidepressant pills, and they're lashing out at people of power, people who have accomplished, people who have worked for the things that they wanted, and realize that you are able to do what you want You are able to have what you want. You are able to live the life that you want fully or at least partially by going for it. No one is going to knock on your door and give it to you by going out and grabbing it. I am one perfect example here. I am one living proof. I've been in situations delivering pizza at times, where I was completely desperate, sitting and crying in my car because I was born into a family of wealth. I was born into multiple cooks in the kitchen and multiple gardeners, multiple drivers waiting in front of the door to take us to where we wanted to go. If I wanted some toy, my father would say, take him to this toy store, whatever. And then everything collapsed. Everything collapsed where I didn't know what I was going to eat. But it's all up to you. I don't mean to rant. I don't mean to give you a long speech, but it really is all up to you. You can come from, my father would always say, not starting from zero, starting from -0. And going to where you want, having the life that you want. I wish I could talk to this woman and say, hey, listen, your problems will not be worse if President Trump, for example, gets reelected, and your life frustrations will not change if that ill-reputed woman, Kamala Harris, goes into White House. Your situation will remain the same. You will still be an unhappy, miserable person with a pet and a wine and your antidepressant. Your life is not going to change. And there is a whole industry of so-called news media, which are really fake opinion pushers that cater to these women and sell to them. You got people like that Matson woman, I don't know what her name is, MSNBC channels, leftist channels that cater to these women. They know that there is a plethora of these, people, for lack of a better term, losers out there that, they want to hear. They tell them what they want to hear, and they sell them advertising. And advertisers know that, these people tune in to listen. Misery loves company. To listen to these, garbage that, yes, all your problems in life, all your, lack of ability to get and have what you want in life is because such and such person is in the White House. If that other person that you like got elected and was president, then, your life would turn into a bed of roses. They sell on that every day. Do you understand? You really have to rise above it, like a plane that's taken off and everything gets smaller and smaller, and you can then see the whole thing in one little window, to understand that this is what it's all about. This is all about these people being in an ocean of confusion and loss in terms of what is really the source of their misery in life, and the evil people that are taking advantage of them, like the leftist media and the advertisers. They don't care. Advertisers, they don't care. You got sometimes the same advertisers, that are advertising the same products and services on both channels. Why limit yourself to one when you can sell to both groups? It's really quite simple when you look at it from a bird's eye view. Focus on what you can do for yourself instead of blaming every person living on this planet except the one person you should be blaming. I hope this talk helps her and people like her and you. All the best.